The birth certificate bond and the creation of the straw man. Hidden millions, is your birth certificate a traded security bond? The straw man secret, how the government uses your name as credit. Maritime law on land, why your legal name is a documented vessel. From infant to asset, the corporate takeover of human energy. When a child is born and a birth certificate is registered with the Bureau of Vital Statistics, it enters the realm of international commerce. This registration process signifies that the child has become a surety for a corporate debt. Upon registration with the Department of Commerce, the Department of Treasury issues a bond on the birth certificate valued at $1 million. This bond is then sold on securities exchanges and often acquired by the Federal Reserve Bank to be used as collateral for issuing debt obligations. This system creates a separate legal entity known as the straw man, which is identified by the use of all capital letters in the name. This entity acts as an accommodation party under the Uniform Commercial Code, representing the flesh and blood individual in a corporate court system. The distinction between the living person and the corporate surrogate is fundamental to modern legal proceedings. The straw man holds the legal title to the individual's body and labor, while the living man or woman possesses only the limited right of use. In court, a defendant must often admit to the straw man's name to establish joinder, allowing the magistrate to claim jurisdiction. This process effectively separates the right from the deed, meaning individuals no longer hold the title to their own bodies in the eyes of the law. When a person violates a statute, such as a traffic ticket, the energy or fine is extracted from the living person to satisfy the debt of the corporate entity. This corporate structure is further solidified through the application of admiralty and maritime law. Under these statutes, registered individuals are treated as documented vessels or merchant vessels. The hospital acts as a port of entry where the res, or the substance of a trust, is delivered to an agent of the state. The certificate of live birth serves as a warehouse receipt for cargo under transportation. Because a trust is created by operation of law whenever title is transferred, the state becomes the trustor and creator, placing a value on the trust based on actuarial estimates of the individual's future labor and human resources. This trust is then funded through the International Monetary Fund based on future earnings. As an individual reaches the age of maturity, the fiduciary duties originally held by the state registrar are transferred to the individual. By applying for a Social Security card, a person moves from being a national citizen to a government employee and taxpayer. This application is viewed as a voluntary submission to the Income Tax Act in exchange for government benefits. Legally, the individual then becomes the fiduciary trustee for the trust, responsible for paying licensing and registration taxes. Under the Trading with the Enemy Act, the trust is often classified as a resident within an occupied territory, requiring the individual to operate with a tax identifying number to conduct trade on behalf of the beneficial owner, which is the trust itself.